Hello and welcome to the 5 Minute Film Club, and today in my James Bond series I'm at the biggie. I'm at the one that changed everything and made Bond what it is today, and that is Goldfinger. So, over to you, Shirley. Goldfinger was released in 1964, based on Ian Fleming's 7th Bond novel. It opens with Bond at the tail end of a mission in Latin America. He's there to blow up a drug factory. The pre-title sequence that started with From Russia with Love now has morphed into its own mini-adventure and allows for Bond to do some really cool stuff before the main story kicks in. Bond makes his on-screen appearance in Goldfinger by emerging from the water with a seagull on his head, and then takes off his wetsuit, revealing a white tuxedo, complete with red carnation. This joke was repeated in James Cameron's True Lies in 1994. The main story of Goldfinger sees Bond in America, meeting old friend CIA agent Felix Leiter. He wants Bond to spy on suspect gold smuggler Auric Goldfinger. Bond discovers that Goldfinger is cheating at cards by the pool. He's using his assistant, Jill Masterson, on a nearby balcony to observe the cards of the other player. Bond interrupts the process and gets to know Jill a bit better. However, in the night, Bond is attacked by an unseen assailant, and when he comes to, sees that Jill is dead, supposedly by being covered in gold paint. When Bond gets back to England, this kind of spurs him on to get revenge on Goldfinger, and we get the first kind of tussle between M and Bond, and I really love it when these moments happen. I think also in this moment we see the first really great Bond villain, in the fact that Goldfinger is able to get under James Bond's skin. M does allow Bond to follow Goldfinger, but first he has to pay a visit to Q Branch. Enter Desmond Llewellyn as Q, a role that he would repeat 17 times. He did appear actually in the last film, but he only gave over a suitcase with a bit of money and a gas canister in it. This time we have the arrival of the Aston Martin DB5, a prototype that was given to the studio to modify for the film. It has been kitted out with a whole host of features, including an ejector seat. Q is such a brilliant character, and Llewellyn is fantastic. He is so demure about the life James Bond leads, and all he wants is for his stuff that he made to be returned in one piece. Fat chance of that with Bond about. After a jolly old round of golf with Goldfinger, where he gets to show off his Korean henchman Oddjob, starting the tradition of every Bond villain having a memorable henchman. Bond tails him to Switzerland, where he learns of something called Operation Grand Slam. This knowledge comes in handy when he is captured by Goldfinger and placed in the path of a giant laser.
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Nothing will stop Goldfinger from killing Bond. However, when he mentions Operation Grand Slam, that seems to stop the villain in his tracks. I'm not sure really why Goldfinger decides to do this. I mean, he basically just describes everything that he's going to do and the whole plan up front to Bond. It's the classic James Bond cliche. And when Bond is captured by Goldfinger and kept alive by him, this is where the film starts to drag a bit for me. It kind of loses its purpose. However, I do really love the rumpus room scene where Goldfinger sets out his entire plot once again. That whole set, designed again by Ken Adam. I love how it is so ludicrously big and stupidly high-tech. Everyone making the film knew that the scene had no other reason to be in the film but to explain the plot to the audience. The whole purpose for Operation Grand Slam is to hijack Fort Knox. In amongst all this going on, we also get the introduction of Pussy Galore. Although she has a ridiculous name, Pussy Galore is the best Bond girl so far. She stands up for herself and gives as good as she gets. Honor Blackman was just coming out of the hit 60s TV show The Avengers when she appeared in the third Bond adventure, so she was a well-known face to audiences and known for some killer moves. Bond manages, with his own certain way of persuasion, to get Pussy Galore and her girls on board to help mess with Goldfinger's plans, and the army and Felix Leiter are alerted to foil the attack. But Goldfinger gets away, even though he's a huge German with a golden gun, for goodness sake. Goldfinger steals himself aboard Bond's presidential jet and tries to exact revenge. Goldfinger was directed by a newcomer to the series, Guy Hamilton, who was offered the chance originally to direct Dr. No, and I think he brings a great sense of fun to the series. He takes all the elements of the first two films and almost makes Goldfinger a parody of them. All throughout the shoot, Hamilton kept pushing the humour as far as he could. The Bond countdown, for example, was originally going to finish at 003 seconds, but Hamilton crossed that out and wrote in 007 seconds.
What kept you?
Another big turning point for the Bond franchise in this film was the decision to have the song written for the film up front, along with the dancing girls title sequence, designed again by Maurice Binder. The other two films had songs written for them, but they are buried within the film. But the combination of Shirley Bassey's theme and Binder's titles are a perfect match, and a film classic was created. Also, for the first time, we get John Barry's score utilising the theme for the film all the way through. I love the moments when we get an instrumental version of Goldfinger blending with the classic Bond theme. It's what a Bond film should sound like. Watching Goldfinger is a lot of fun. I'm not sure whether I like it more than From Russia With Love. I still think that is the better film, but this is the quintessential Bond film. With Goldfinger, you get an idea what it's all about. Bond should be a perfect blend of action, adventure, innuendo and humour. Thank you very much for watching my review of Goldfinger. Please let me know your thoughts about the film in the comments down below. Next week I'm taking a week off of the Bond series and looking at 3 horror films. On Wednesday I'm looking at Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, continuing my Halloween rewatch this year. Then on Thursday, really excited to review Host, a great horror film from last year, and then finally rounding out the week with the remake of Wrong Turn. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!